Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris, and this is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Strikeforce Challengers 18, which happens on August 12th. So let's start with the prelim card and go up to the main card. Okay, first fight of the night, we have Sterling Ford versus Milton Vieira. Milton Vieira is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He has like 8 submissions under his belt. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Sterling Ford, he's on a 6-fight winning streak. He fought pretty recently. He fought Brian McLaughlin and beat him. I'm going to go with Sterling Ford in here, but this is a case where Milton trains with some pretty good people, and with his submission skills, I mean, he could get the victory, but Sterling's actually, has a good streak going on. I'll go with Sterling Ford to win this one. Next fight after that, we have Mike the Greek Gonzalez versus Chad Lionheart. You got two guys that have like most of their wins by like KO or TKO. I'll go with the guy that's coming off wins in Chad Lionheart. Mike Gonzalez is coming off a loss to Todd Moore, so I'll go with Chad Lionheart to win this one. Next fight after that, we have Nishan Burrell versus Lucas Les. Lucas Les trains out of Wolf Slayer. His last 4 fights, he's actually won by guillotine. All his fights are either won or lost by guillotine or by submission. But I remember I saw Nishan Burrell in the prelim card against Joe Ray, and I was really impressed by him. He looked naturally athletic. His stand-up's really good, and his ground game looked to be improving. I'll go with Nishan Burrell to win that one. Okay, in the final prelim of the night, we have Keith Berry versus Gian Vellante. Keith Berry, I mean, he's fighting like King the Cage, the WEC. He's coming off a 2-fight losing streak, though. Same with Gian Vellante. He lost his last fight by Trevor Smith. Gian Vellante, I mean, he lost to Chad Griggs, and then he just lost to Lawrence Larkin. He was actually a prospect in the light heavyweight division, but he's definitely been losing. I'll go with him. I still see some potential in him. His stand-up's pretty good. He does have takedown ability. I'll go with Gian Vellante to win that one. Okay, and on to the main card. We have Roy Jones Jr., not the boxer, versus Derrick Mehmen. Roy Jones Jr. is mainly fought in the regional circuit. He has a 5-1 record. Whereas Mehmen, he trains out of ATT. He has almost like 3 times the fights of Roy Jones Jr. And all of his wins, 15-9 record. All of them are by stoppage. He also has a National Junior College All-American. I'll go with Mehmen to win this one. Next fight after that, we have a women's fight. At 145 pounds, as Ronda Rousey is going to fight Sarah Danillo. Sarah the Monster Danillo is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. She is coming off a loss. She's only had 5 fights. Ronda Rousey, obviously, she's an Olympian in judo. She's won medals. Her last 2 fights, I mean, they've been less than a minute, and they were both won by submission. There's a lot of hype between Rousey. I am going to go with Ronda Rousey to win this one. I feel that she will be able to get the takedown and get the top control. Okay, next fight after that, we have Pat Healy versus Eric Wisely. Eric Wisely's coming off a 4-fight winning streak. Some of the wins are against some pretty good lightweights like Amis Franca, he's more up and down, and Matt Veach. Pat Healy, this guy, 10-year veteran, man. This guy's fought a lot of guys. He's fought guys like Carlos Condit. He's fought Chris Lieben. In his last fight against Lyle Beerbaum, he had a really fun fight with a bunch of scrambles. I just got to go with Pat Healy to win this one. He looked good against Josh Thompson, actually, until he got choked out. So, yeah, I got to go with Healy to win this. Okay, next fight of the night, we have Nate James versus Danillo Villefort. Nate James trains out of AKA. He has a 12-7 record. But Danillo, I mean, I've been really impressed with Danillo Villefort as of late. He beat Joey Villasenor, and I think he had 2 fights in shark fights that I saw against Villasenor, and he looked really good against Matt Horwich. Villafort's stand-up is looking really good. His takedown ability is looking really good, and he has good jiu-jitsu as well. I mean, he definitely is a well-rounded guy. He fought once in the UFC and lost, I think, to Kimball. But since then, he's looked really good. I think at this point, he's a UFC caliber fighter, too. Definitely got to go with Danillo Villefort to win this one. Okay, and the main event of the night, we have Jorge Gurgel versus Joe Duarte. I remember Joe Duarte in The Ultimate Fighter when he lost to Felipe Nover. He has a 9-2 record. He's coming off a win over Sadawad. He has 6 submissions under his belt and just like 2 KOs or TKOs. He does have a stand-up ability. Everyone does. But I believe he does have a pretty good base in it's either kickboxing or Muay Thai. I forgot. Jorge Gurgel, I mean, this is a guy that either wins by submission or decision. He was coming off a 2-fight losing streak, but then he beat Billy Vaughn by guillotine. I mean, this is a guy that chooses to stand a lot of times and stand and trade instead of doing any jiu-jitsu or trying to grapple. I mean, he has fun fights in that sense, but like he doesn't have a lot of power, and he's not very technical. I mean, for some reason, that's just how he likes to brawl. He has a pretty good chin because he's been doing that style for a while. But you know, it's caused a lot of MMA fans much anger because you're just like, come on, you're just great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Why not use it? You know, and the guys that he teaches, whether it's like Matt Brown, Dustin Hazlett, Rich Franklin, you see them at times, especially like a guy like a Hazlett, using the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that they learned from Gurgel in their fights. So it's frustrating to watch a Jorge Gurgel fight a lot of times. Because of that, I gotta go with Joe Duarte. I don't trust Gurgel to take the fight to the ground. I think Duarte can win on stand-up. You know, if he gets taken down, he won't be totally lost down there. I just got to go with Joe Duarte to win this one. I get so frustrated with Gurgel. That's the thing. And it really comes down to that. I just don't see him grappling. And I see him choosing to stand and trade and throw sloppy kickboxing. So yeah, that's it for my predictions for Strikeforce Challengers 18. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you very much.